How does a traditional rice mill from Bardoli, Gujarat, break out of local commodity processing and become a 176 crore rupees global food export engine? And more importantly, how does it generate nearly half of its export revenue from just 2 international corridors? Many food processing businesses believe export growth means chasing every buyer inquiry from every country. But that approach can quickly become a trap. Different compliance rules, different labels, different packaging needs, long payment cycles, and cash blocked for months. True export scale is not a game of entering the maximum number of countries. It is built on product readiness, structural compliance, transit-safe packaging, and disciplined working capital. Reflecting on this kind of transition, Vimal Agro's director, Chirag Nemani, candidly said that they were highly unorganized and nothing was going in the right direction. So how did they move from local milling to a structured global export engine? The answer is not in marketing slogans. It is in operational engineering. Many exporters face the problem of spreading themselves too thin across too many countries. Vimal Agro solved this by focusing heavily on just 2 major corridors, the United Kingdom and the United States. This strategy scaled international sales to command 85% of total revenue, generating 149.6 crores rupees from exports. This focus drove massive growth, capturing 54.5 crores rupees from the United Kingdom and 19.3 crores rupees from the United States. The takeaway is clear: true export scale is not about planting flags everywhere. It is about going deeper in the corridors that actually move the business. The mill gave the family a stable local base, but raw agricultural processing had limited pricing power and exposed the business to volatile harvest margins. The major strategic turn came on 14 October 1988 when the business formally incorporated as a private limited company. The family moved beyond raw grain processing and entered value-added, shelf-stable foods such as papads and mango pulp. This was also the beginning of the Swad brand. More than 25 years ago, Vimal Agro used this value-added model to enter international markets, especially by serving the global South Asian diaspora looking for authentic Indian food. Building upon our roots in milling, we created a dedicated, high-capacity food processing house, and with it, Swad was born, ensuring that tradition traveled beautifully from our home to the world. Under next-generation leadership, including Chirag Nemani, the company began transforming its internal systems. It moved from unorganized regional workflows to a structured corporate setup. To understand that transformation, we need to break down the 6 operational pillars that made this export engine possible. But emotional branding alone does not clear international customs. And a strong vision cannot survive a frozen cash cycle. To move from a family-led mill to a 176 crore rupees global food business, Vimal Agro had to solve 6 operational realities that often hold back growing food exporters. Many small food businesses treat international compliance as paperwork to be handled after finding a buyer. But global food trade does not work that way. Border checks are unforgiving. A missing allergen warning, an incorrect local label format, or a weak batch trace code can delay, reject, or even destroy an entire shipment. Vimal Agro did not treat compliance as a back-office task. They built it into their factory system. Packaging verification, batch traceability, and quality controls became part of daily production. Their Bardoli plant was aligned to global quality expectations, supported by certifications and compliance references such as BRC Global Standards approved by Intertek UK, ISO 22000, 2005, FSSAI, USDA compliance, and Halal India certification. The SMB takeaway is clear: global compliance is not managed from a desk. It is built into the machinery line. The second challenge was product engineering. Many food processors try to run very different product lines through the same operating logic. But wet and dry foods face completely different risks during export. Wet products such as Alfonso mango pulp and cooking pastes need sterilization, sealing strength, and protection from spoilage. Dry products such as papads, flours, and spices face a different enemy: moisture absorption, pest risk, and breakage during handling. Vimal Agro addressed this by treating wet and dry categories differently. The lesson for SMBs is simple: one generic factory setup cannot solve opposite product risks. Export readiness starts with designing the product for the journey. The third pillar was premiumization. In food processing, raw agricultural inputs can consume up to 75% of the cost structure. That means one bad harvest, one sharp raw material spike, or one sudden freight increase can destroy thin margins if a business competes only on raw commodities. Vimal Agro moved away from that trap by building shelf-stable, processed consumer products under brands such as Swad, Vimal, and Big Pantry. Branded foods create more pricing power than loose commodity exports. They also give the business a stronger buffer against freight shocks and raw material volatility. The takeaway is to gradually move capacity into value-added formats that can protect profit. The fourth pillar was working capital discipline. Agricultural processing has a built-in cash problem. Crops are seasonal, so a business may need to spend heavily during a narrow harvest window. Then it must process, store, pack, ship, and wait for international payments. Vimal Agro's financial profile shows the pressure clearly through a working capital cycle of around 123 days. That kind of cycle can choke a growing business if every request and every market experiment is accepted without discipline. Vimal Agro's response was to build stricter operating systems and prioritize high-demand products. This does not mean they exited other markets, but it shows the power of deeper export corridors. It is about going deeper in the corridors that actually move the business. Vimal Agro focused on markets where South Asian diaspora demand was strong, using localized communication and regional product education to support repeat demand. For complex markets like China, they created regional product education around how consumers could use Swad Alfonso mango pulp in recipes such as smoothies, sundaes, and mousses. The sixth pillar was risk-based pricing. Many exporters price international orders using a simple domestic cost-plus method. They add factory cost, add a shipping buffer, and assume profit. But exports carry hidden costs: compliance costs, packaging upgrades, freight volatility, long payment cycles, and capital locked for months. Vimal Agro's model had to account for these risks through a more complete pricing stack. Before a product can carry a foreign retail price, the price must protect 5 layers: factory cost, export compliance amortization, high barrier transit packaging, ocean freight volatility, and the carrying cost of a 123-day cash cycle. Because branded, shelf-stable foods carry stronger emotional value, they can support a premium price more effectively than raw commodity exports. The takeaway is simple: do not price exports like domestic sales. Price for the risk before the container leaves the factory. Vimal Agro's transformation from a traditional rice mill into a 176 crore rupees global food export engine offers a practical playbook for growing food processors. Sustainable export growth is built by engineering a compliant factory floor, designing products for transit, protecting margins through value-added formats, controlling the cash cycle, and concentrating effort on corridors that matter. For food entrepreneurs, the real question is our product architecture, factory system, and cash cycle strong enough to scale profitably? If you are ready to build a lasting food brand, look beyond raw volume. Start building operational readiness.